Have you ever heard someone say, "I can't get burnout, I am not that weak"? Or maybe you've come across the notion that strong men don't experience anxiety, they handle their problems. Or telling to an exhausted mother with postnatal depression, "Hey, just cheer up." Maybe you've even thought these things yourself at some point. Well, today we're going to tackle these myths head on. Did you know that, according to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 8 people globally live with a mental disorder? That's around 970 million people worldwide. Yet, despite how common these issues are, there's still a lot of misinformation floating around. And the worst thing, this misinformation stops people to seek help at an early stage. Hello everyone, my name is Annie. I'm a psychologist and, once upon a time, a corporate professional navigating the high-pressure world of business with tight deadlines and the constant demand to perform. After wrestling with my own mental health challenges for several years, I decided to specialize in stress management and resilience. Now, I'm on a mission to help others navigate their tough times, just as I learned to navigate mine. Today, we're going to debunk some of the most common myths and misconceptions about mental health. By understanding the truth, we can break down the stigma and encourage open conversations that promote healing and support. Myth number 1, mental illnesses aren't real diseases. You might have heard someone scoff, "Mental illness? That's not a real disease. People just need to get over it." Or perhaps, "Back in my day, we didn't have these so-called disorders. People were just stronger." That's about as accurate as saying the earth is flat in today's world. The reality is, mental illnesses are legitimate medical conditions recognized by health organizations worldwide, including the WHO. Advances in neuroscience have shown that mental disorders involve changes in brain chemistry, structure, and function. Conditions like anxiety disorders, depression, and schizophrenia have biological and genetic components. Furthermore, mental illnesses have been documented throughout history across various cultures. Ignoring these facts is like insisting the earth is flat, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Mental illnesses are real and require appropriate medical attention, just like any physical illness. Denying their existence doesn't make them any less real. It just prevents people from getting the help they need. Myth number 2, only women get depressed and anxious. Ever heard someone say, "Depression and anxiety are just things women deal with because they're too emotional"? Or perhaps, "Men don't get anxious, they just handle their problems"? That's as outdated as believing that the sun revolves around the earth. The reality is, anxiety and depression affect people of all genders. While statistics may show that women are diagnosed with anxiety disorders and depression at higher rates, men also experience these conditions, often underdiagnosed due to societal expectations. Men may be less likely to report symptoms because expressing vulnerability is often discouraged. For example, an estimated 1 in 5 men will experience anxiety at some point in their lives. However, they may express it differently, such as through irritability, anger, or risky behaviors. Ignoring this is like pretending gravity doesn't affect everyone equally. Male suicide rates are often higher than those of females, indicating underlying mental health struggles that are not being addressed. Societal stigma can prevent men from expressing their feelings or seeking help, which only exacerbates the problem. Anxiety and depression don't discriminate based on gender. Recognizing this helps everyone get the support they need and challenges harmful stereotypes that prevent people from seeking help. Myth number 3, burnout is invented by people who don't want to work. You've probably heard, "Burnout? That's just a fancy term for laziness," or people use burnout as an excuse to slack off. Statements like these are as misguided as thinking the moon is made of cheese. The reality is, burnout is a real condition recognized by the World Health Organization as an occupational phenomenon resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. It is characterized by feelings of energy depletion, increased mental distance from one's job, and reduced professional efficacy. Burnout doesn't occur because someone doesn't want to work. It happens because they've been working too hard for too long without adequate rest or support. It's like a car running out of fuel after being driven non-stop without refueling. Burnout can also contribute to anxiety symptoms, such as constant worry, restlessness, and difficulty concentrating. Ignoring burnout can lead to serious health issues, including anxiety disorders and depression. Recognizing burnout as a legitimate concern allows individuals and organizations to address the root causes, such as excessive workloads, lack of control, and insufficient support. Myth number 4. Men don't experience anxiety or other mental health issues. Real men don't get anxious, they just deal with it. Or, men who talk about their feelings are just weak. These statements are as archaic as believing that diseases are caused by evil spirits. The reality is, men do experience mental health issues, including anxiety disorders. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, anxiety disorders affect over 19 million men in the U.S. alone. Societal pressures often discourage men from expressing emotions, leading to underdiagnosis and untreated conditions. Men may exhibit anxiety differently, perhaps through physical symptoms like headaches or increased blood pressure, or behaviors like irritability and aggression. Encouraging open dialogue and challenging outdated notions of masculinity can help men seek the support they need. Mental health affects everyone, regardless of gender. Encouraging men to speak up is crucial for promoting mental well-being for all. Myth number 5. People with mental illness are crazy. Some folks think, stay away from them, they're crazy and unpredictable. Or, mental illness? More like mental weakness. And no, mental health conditions aren't contagious. According to the World Health Organization, mental health literacy is low worldwide. Many people are unable to recognize common mental health disorders or understand the best ways to manage or treat them. A study published in Journal of Adolescent Health revealed that less than 50% of adolescents could identify signs of depression or anxiety in themselves or others. Probably exactly. This is the reason why for so many people, mental health is limited to the idea of someone being crazy. The truth is, most people with mental health conditions are not violent or dangerous. In fact, individuals with mental illness are more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators. Labeling people as crazy perpetuates stigma and isolation, preventing them from seeking help. And let's face the reality that mental health has far more faces than the crazy one. Let's replace fear and stigma with understanding and support. Mental health conditions are medical issues, not definitions of a person's character. Myth number 6, you can just snap out of it. Why don't you just relax? Or, have you tried not being anxious? If only it were that simple, like telling someone to grow taller by thinking about it. The reality is, mental health conditions often require professional treatment. Telling someone to snap out of it minimizes their struggle and can be harmful. Anxiety disorders, for instance, involve complex interactions between genetics, brain chemistry, and life experiences. Recovery is a process that may involve therapy, medication, or both. Cognitive behavioral therapy is particularly effective for treating anxiety disorders, but also body-mind-based techniques. Compassion and professional help are key to recovery, not cliches or quick fixes. Myth number 7, therapy is useless. Just take a pill. Why waste time talking? Medicine fixes everything. Or, therapy is for people who can't handle their own problems. That's like saying you can get fit by thinking about exercise while sitting on the couch. The truth is, therapy provides tools and coping strategies that medication alone cannot. A combination of therapy and medication is often the most effective treatment for anxiety and other mental health conditions. Techniques learned in therapy can help individuals manage symptoms, understand triggers, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Alternative therapies like mindfulness, exercise, and relaxation techniques can also be beneficial in managing anxiety symptoms. Effective treatment often involves multiple approaches tailored to the individual. Dismissing therapy overlooks a valuable resource in the journey toward recovery. Myth number 8, talking about suicide encourages it. Don't mention suicide, it'll just give people ideas. Or, only disturbed people think about that, let's not discuss it. That's as misguided as believing that talking about calories makes you gain weight. The reality is, open, honest conversations about suicide can prevent it. Discussing it reduces stigma and encourages people to seek help. Anxiety disorders and also severe forms of depression, including postnatal depression, can sometimes lead to suicidal thoughts, especially if left untreated. Asking someone about suicidal thoughts does not increase the risk. In fact, it can provide relief and a pathway to support. Talking allows for early intervention and strengthens support systems. Silence can be deadly. Communication is a lifeline. Myth number 9, and my personal favorite: it can't happen to me. I'm strong. Mental illness could never affect me. Or, my family doesn't have those problems. That's like believing you're immune to catching a cold because you wore a hat. The reality is, mental health issues can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. Anxiety disorders and depression are among the most common mental health conditions worldwide. Life events, stress, or biological factors can trigger conditions. I will focus on the most common triggers in another video. Even the most resilient individuals can experience anxiety or other mental health challenges when overwhelmed. Being proactive about mental health benefits everyone. Practicing self-care, setting boundaries, and seeking support when needed are crucial steps in maintaining well-being. Thank you for joining me in debunking these outdated myths. Together, we can foster a more understanding and supportive world. Remember, mental health matters to all of us, regardless of gender or background. I invite each of you to make well-being your superpower. Imagine a world where mental health is prioritized, where individuals thrive, and organizations flourish because they've embraced the full potential of their people. If you find this video interesting and want to delve deeper into mental health insights, subscribe Unstress Me and click on the like button so that I can keep making these videos. Each episode is crafted to provide practical tips or inspiring stories designed to help you cultivate your mental wellness superpower. Join us as we explore transformative ways to enhance both individual and collective well-being. No matter what your mental health looks like, you are not alone.